What if I told you that you could turn a small amount of money into, well, billions? It sounds totally made up, like something out of a movie, right? But for Warren Buffett, it's not a story, it's his life. And you know what the craziest part is? His entire fortune is built on one simple, powerful rule. A rule that you can actually start using today. So let's get into it. $100 billion. Just let that number sink in for a second. This isn't just monopoly money on a screen. It's the real-world result of a lifetime of smart, disciplined decisions, all starting from basically nothing. So the real question isn't just how much. I mean, seriously, how does one person build that kind of wealth? It's not about winning the lottery, and it's definitely not about some super complex trading algorithm. The answer is way simpler. It's a single, timeless principle that we're about to unpack right now. And hey, welcome to Data Finance. This is where we break down the mindsets of the world's greatest investors to give you real, actionable lessons. If you're tired of all the get-rich-quick noise and you want to learn how to build real, long-term wealth, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You're going to want to stick around for what we have coming up. Okay, so to really get how he ended up with billions, we've got to go all the way back to the beginning. And forget those shiny Wall Street skyscrapers. This story starts in Omaha, Nebraska, with a kid building a mindset, piece by piece. Get this, he bought his very first stock when he was just 11 years old. 11. And by the time he was 20, an age when most of us are just trying to figure out life, he had already saved up what would be worth over $120,000 today. This wasn't just some kid with a hobby. This was the foundation. He wasn't just saving money. He was building the very rule that would guide him for the next 70 years. And that right there brings us to the absolute core of his entire philosophy. It's not some complicated secret guarded by Wall Street insiders. Nope. It's a beautifully simple idea he calls the circle of competence. This is it. This is the billion-dollar rule in a nutshell. Don't chase the hot new thing. Only, and I mean only, invest in businesses you actually understand inside and out. You have to ask yourself, how does this company make money? For real. And is it going to be around in 20 years? See, this works because it totally shifts your mindset from being a gambler to being a business owner, and that just crushes your risk. You're not buying a random stock ticker anymore. You're buying a piece of a real business. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to these two things: having deep knowledge of what you own, and then having the patience to let time do all the heavy lifting for you. That combo is the engine of his wealth. But there's a special kind of fuel that makes this engine go from a steady hum to an absolute rocket ship. And that fuel, well, that's the magic of compounding. It's like this silent partner that's working for you 24/7, even when you're sleeping. It's the real powerhouse behind the scenes. Don't just take my word for it. Buffett himself says that compounding is one of the 3 key pillars of his entire success. And that tells you something so important. It's not just about picking the right stocks. It's about having the guts and the patience to hold on to them for decades. The real money isn't made in the buying and selling, it's made in the waiting. And this is what that waiting looks like. Check this out. For the first 20 years or so, the growth is pretty good, it's steady. But then, look what happens. The curve just goes almost vertical. It's insane. The money you make in those last few years is more than all the previous years combined. That, my friends, is the explosive power of compounding. So, okay. Knowing the rule and understanding compounding is one thing, but having the discipline, the sheer willpower to actually stick with it, that's the hard part. This is what separates the people who build wealth from, well, everyone else. The battle isn't against the market, it's against your own emotions. Think about it like this. On one side, you've got the Buffett mindset. It's all about knowledge, patience, and focusing on real value. And on the other side, you've got the average investor's approach, and that's usually driven by hype, fear, impatience, basically pure emotion. And making decisions with your emotions is the fastest way to lose money. This quote is everything. It perfectly captures his mindset. When everyone else is freaking out and selling, he sees a bargain because he knows the long-term value of the businesses he owns. And when everyone else is getting euphoric and gritty, he takes a step back because the prices just don't make sense anymore. He's playing a completely different game, totally ignoring all the short-term noise. All right, so how can you actually start using this powerful mindset, like right now? It really just comes down to 3 simple practical steps you can take. First, you gotta define your circle and be brutally honest with yourself. What do you actually understand? Is it gaming? Coffee brands? Software? Whatever it is, stick to that. Second, start thinking in decades, not days. This is the toughest one for sure, but it's where that compounding magic really happens. And finally, number 3, ignore the noise. Seriously, turn off the constant market updates and just focus on the actual health of the businesses you own. And that's really the whole secret. There's no shortcut. Buffett got rich by sticking to one timeless idea: understand what you own and give it a very, very long time to grow. It's a simple path, but simple doesn't always mean easy. It takes discipline. So I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. If you had just $100 today, where would you invest it? But it has to be inside your circle of competence. Based on what you truly get, whether it's tech or food or your local car wash, where would you put that money to work for the long haul? Drop your ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you come up with. If you got some value out of this lesson, do me a favor and hit that like button. And of course, subscribe for more strategies to build real, lasting wealth. And hey, if you know someone who's just starting to think about investing, share this with them. Thanks for hanging out with us. And remember, the power of compounding isn't just for billionaires. It's for anyone with enough patience to play the long game.